Okay, so I'm just going to show you an example of how I use this game in class. So at the start of the live lesson, I will have a poll pod asking students a would you rather question. For example, would you rather be able to control fire or water? Then when we move to our game layout, then I have two poll pods and I have two chat pods as well. In the center, I have a share file with the game sharing the screen, sharing my second screen with the game on it. And normally in between the chat pods, if you want, you can have a word bank or anything that will help the students throughout the game. You can also have a timer down here or anything like that. So what I do with the poll pods is I have the students, when the questions come up, they have to use the poll pod for their team to enter the correct answer for the question. And I tell them you have to work as a team, so use the chat pod to help each other out. And I will tell them, if most students are picking, I don't know, apples, for example, I tell them, okay, it looks like apple is the most popular answer. Is that your final answer? And then, if the students know that's incorrect, then in the chat they go and say, no, that's not right. Change your answer, change your answer. And then they can go back and change their answers if they want to. So that's how I use the chat pod, the poll pods as well. If you're doing multiple choice, you can change it, of course, to a multiple choice poll pod. But this layout, it's what I use for gaming. So another thing I do is I tell them to change their chat color to, if they're on the left, Team Fire, you're going to click on the drop-down menu, click on My Chat Color, and you're going to click red. Once you've done that, put your name in the chat pod so we know you're on that team. Team Water, click on the chat options, My Chat Color, and click blue. Once you've done that, put your name in the chat pod so that we know you're on that team. And that's how I get them to kind of, if they want to type on someone else's chat pod, they have to go in and change the color, or else we'll know that they're in the wrong team. So once we're ready to begin the game, I normally have the game already preloaded, but I'll show you how I load it before class. So if you're on Baamboozle for the first time, you can search for games, or you can create your own game. For the most part, you're going to end up creating your own, unless you want to have the paid version, which allows you to copy games and edit them. So here I'm just going to pick a random one that was already pre-made just to show you. You can preview the questions. If you're okay with them, that's fine. If you want to make your own, you can make your completely own game. So you're going to click on play. And then the maximum number of teams you can have for free, it's 4. And the maximum number of questions is 24. So I'm going to click on 2. And the maximum number of questions, and I click on Classic. So this is the game board that it's normally displayed when the students first enter the game room. So I already have the game board preloaded. And what I do is then the teams can start to take turns. So I say, okay, team 1, go ahead. So team 1 picks a number, and I tell them same thing, put the number in the chat pod, in the poll pod. And then I say, okay, looks like number 9 is the most popular. Let's see, number 9. They get a question, and same thing. They use the poll pod to enter the answer, whatever the correct answer they think they could use. If they have a word bank, they can reference that. And then I tell them, looks like blank is the most popular answer. Okay, let's check. All right, if they get it correct, I click OK, and that team gets the points. Then it goes on to team 2. Let's say they pick number 11. They get a question. You check. If they get it wrong, you click oops, and they don't get points. It goes back to team 1. Check. If they get it wrong, same thing. And you get the idea. I'm trying to find a spot with there we go. So some of the spots have free points, and some of the spots have where the team has to give points away. So in this case, it looks like this team got 25 points, which gets taken away from the other team. So now the other team went to negatives, and team 1 has more points. So that's how the game board works, and it makes it a little bit more interactive and a little bit more fun than just answering the questions from our PowerPoint. Hope this helps.